Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel Crafty Bonker. I hope you guys are doing well and I wish you all a very happy new year. I'm so excited for this new year and I have so many new ideas to implement. So stay tuned for that. And today I will be making 3 air dry clay dishes. These dishes look so elegant and aesthetic. You can use these to keep your jewelry, rings and things like that. So without further ado, let's get into the video. To make these dishes, you will need air dry clay, some acrylic paint, gold acrylic paint because I love painting edges with gold, cookie cutters, few paint brushes, Mod Podge. So let's get started. So for the first design, we will be making this gold leaf dish. I started by laying down baking paper, which really helps the clay from sticking on the surface I'm working on. Then I took some of the air dry clay out and warmed it up in my hands and made a ball out of the clay before I rolled it out. If you have a spare rolling pin, that would be great. I don't have any, so I'm using this air freshener bottle. Also, do not use the same rolling pin for food and clay. After I rolled it to the size I wanted, I went ahead with my round cookie cutter to cut the clay. I then used water to smooth the edges. Then I took a candle jar and placed the clay on top of that to create the shape. Then again, I used some water to smooth any rough edges. Water is really helpful when working with air dry clay and it really helps to smooth all the edges. It kind of melts the clay to make the surface more even. After that, I let it dry overnight for 24 hours. Once it was dried, I went ahead and sanded the dish down to make the surface even and then cleaned it before painting on top. And after that, I used black acrylic paint to paint the dishes. I actually did 2 coats to make sure the dish is completely covered. Once that was dried, I used a big brush to create strokes-like effect with white acrylic on one side. On the other side, I used leaf-in glue and stuck some gold foil on it. After that was dried, I went ahead and I painted the edges with gold acrylic paint. And then I went ahead with my Mod Podge and I sealed the dish. Here's the final product, and I really like how this one has turned out. Next we have this ring tray, which I just love so much. To start with, I took some clay and warmed it up in my hand. Then I made a thick coil. I wanted it to be like a cone, thick on one side and thinner on the other side. This is gonna make the holder on which we are gonna put the rings on. Once I was happy with the length, I went ahead and I cut it with a dental floss, or you can use an X-Acto knife. I then used water to smoothen it all up and I kept it aside. And next I worked to make the base of the holder. I rolled out some clay and I cut it in round shape with the cookie cutter. To make the lip on the side, I folded the edge with my hand and I used water to smoothen it all up. After that, I took the ring holder, placed it in the center and used water again to stick pieces together and smoothen everything up. I wanted to make sure the piece looks seamless. I let it dry overnight, and once it was dried, I sanded the piece to make it smooth before painting. I started painting white, but then I liked this antique white more, so I went ahead and I repainted the dish. And now to make the speckles, I took a wet brush and I dipped it in black paint and flicked the paint onto the dish and then let it dry for a few hours. Later, I painted the edges with gold acrylic. And at last, I sealed the dish with Mod Podge. Here's the final piece. I really love this one. I think it looks really elegant and aesthetic. Moving on to the last project. I repeated the same process of rolling the clay out. But for this one, I wanted the shape to be organic. So once it was rolled out, I simply placed it on top of the clay box. Used water to smoothen it all up. And then I let it dry overnight. Once it was dried, I went ahead and I sanded down the dish to make the surface even, and then I cleaned it before painting on top. I used pink acrylic paint with a little bit of white acrylic to make it a lighter shade of pink. I actually did 2 to 3 coats to make sure the dish is completely covered. Once that was dried, I used my black acrylic paint to make eyelashes. I kept this one quite simple. And after that, I used gold acrylic paint on the edges and let it dry for a couple of hours. And once that was dried, I used my Mod Podge to seal the tray. I think this one turned out really cute. Okay guys, so that's all for today. I had so much fun making these. This was my first time working with air dry clay and I really enjoyed it. I will definitely be making more DIYs with clay soon. I love how these dishes have turned out. I seriously cannot pick which one is my favorite. Let me know in the comments below which one is your favorite, or you like all three just like me. If there's anything you guys want me to try out or make so you guys can learn, just let me know in the comments below and I'll make sure to try my best to do a video on that. Thank you so much for watching guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, please give it a big thumbs up by hitting that like button, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And do check me out on Instagram at CRAFTY BONKER. See you guys next time.